You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Wow, Bubba Wallace is back in the news. How about that? The very guy that blew this channel up over his garage pool rope hoax. That's right, Bubba Wallace is back, and this time there is calls for his suspension. There is calls for him to be criminally prosecuted. Because for lack of a better way of putting it, Bubba Wallace violently attacked Kyle Larson this weekend during a NASCAR race, and let's just jump to it. There's multiple videos with this and actually multiple articles. This is absolutely insane, and people are outraged right now. Bubba Wallace causes accident during race, then physically attacks the other driver. I'll set this up for you guys. NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace erupted into a fit of rage during a race on Sunday as he attacked another driver after causing that driver to crash. This is the Daily Wire. The incident happened during Stage 2 of the South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway when Wallace, who won Stage 1, was next to driver Kyle Larson when Larson attempted a 3-wide pass. Larson moved up the track and his car gave a slight tap to Wallace's car, causing Wallace's car to brush up against the wall. After brushing up against the wall, Wallace bounced into Larson's car and then continued by tracking Larson's car down the track and slamming into the rear of his car, causing both cars to spin out. Multiple reports said that the move by Wallace to spin Larson's car appeared to be intentional. NASCAR could penalize Wallace if they believe his actions were deliberate. Let's look at it.
Big battle off of turn 4 here. The
Wallace got the McDonald's car. Yeah. Let's just look at that. Boom. Boom. Yeah. I mean, that's bad news. And by the way, another driver did get caught up in the Wallace's mess here. That should be noted and pointed out. After both cars came to a stop, Wallace, who has previously been described as being self-righteous and smug, do you think, got out of his car and physically attacked Larson, who is smaller than Wallace. Let's look at this. There's a couple of angles to it. Let's go right here. And there he goes. Look at that. Wow. Wow. There, look at the people booing. That's hilarious. The attack's not hilarious, but him getting booed absolutely is. Let's look at this. Look at him. Look at him. Dude, really? Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, man, that's going to have fallout. Larson responded to the incident by saying Wallace's aggression was not surprising. I obviously made an aggressive move into 3 and got in low and got loose and chased it up a bit, Larson said. And yeah, I mean, he got to my front right, and I got him tight into the wall, and he knew he knew he was going to retaliate. So like I said, I mean, he had a reason to be mad, but his race wasn't over until he retaliated. So it is what it is. Just aggression turned into frustration, and he retaliated. By the way, Wallace got rude with this reporter down here over the questioning.
Acceptable thing?
Stop fishing. Just a piss poor move on his execution.
When situations like this happen, Bubba, at this speed, is retaliation an acceptable thing?
Stop fishing.
I'm not fishing. I'm just asking you. Let's also talk.
He said, is retaliation acceptable? He said, stop fishing. Well, you may be fishing your ass a suspension. Calls grow for Bubba Wallace to be suspended and face potential criminal charges for violent attack after crash. There's another angle of it right there. Calls grew on Sunday for hothead NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace to face severe penalties for a violent outburst towards another driver after Wallace caused the other driver to crash. The incident happened during Stage 2 of the South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway when Wallace, who won Stage 1, was next to Kyle Larson when Larson attempted a 3-wide pass. We just went over that. Let's scroll down and get some of the reaction. Quote, is at Bubba Wallace going to be arrested? Judicial Watch President Tom Fenton tweeted, quote, this crap is why it'll be hard for Bubba to have full respect from the fan base and probably other drivers. There's a lot of other reasons too. Newsbusters managing editor Curtis Houck tweeted, it is unsafe in caps given how piss poor these cars are. If Larson or Bubba himself ends up diagnosed with a concussion this week and misses time, it's going to look even worse. Quote, is Bubba Wallace needs to be suspended for retaliation in a vehicle against Larson. Full stop. So she's saying, look, he used his car as a weapon. Sports commentator Cassie Fambro tweeted, these cars are way too dangerous for that. And then having time to walk and calm down and choosing violence? No, unacceptable. Sports writer Jeff Gluck tweeted, that appeared to be blatant intentional payback from Bubba Wallace on Kyle Larson. Hooked him, and it takes out a Toyota playoff driver in Christopher Bell. I told you there was collateral damage. Not a good look. Took out another driver. A playoff driver, by the way. Motorsports reporter Jordan Blanchy tweeted, the thing is, it appears as if Bubba Wallace intentionally caused the crash, which also collected Toyota teammate Christopher Bell. This isn't going to make Wallace any friends. How about McDonald's? How's McDonald's taking this? Or has McDonald's not got the nerve to pull their sponsorship from Bubba Wallace for all kinds of reasons we already know, right? Numerous other accounts highlighted Wallace's hostility towards an interviewer after the race and how his actions are, quote, dragging the entire sport of racing down. Yeah, that's where he got asked whether or not it was retaliation against Kyle Larson, and he got real smug and said, quit fishing. NASCAR has launched a review into the matter and can suspend Wallace if they believe he intentionally slammed into Larson's car. Other responses to Wallace's violent attack that picked up significant engagement online. Bubba Wallace not only wrecked Larson at high speed in a car with questionable safety records, but he then proceeded to try to fight him. Wonder how McDonald's and his other sponsors feel right now. Should Bubba Wallace be suspended? NASCAR playoffs. I would suspend Bubba Wallace for Homestead. Wallace just hooked Kyle Larson across the front stretch. Absolutely unacceptable. There is no debating this loss of maturity and temper. Bubba Wallace is officially the biggest joke of NASCAR. Clown faces. Bubba Wallace showing everyone who he really is. He always had issues with temper and judgment. Yeah, claiming that there was a hate crime in your garage was your first indication of that character, anybody. What a clown. That is why people hate Bubba Wallace. He gets overly emotional when things don't go his way, hanging a left on Kyle Larson, while done wrong is the lowest of low NASCAR. NASCAR should ban Bubba Wallace for life, and he should be prosecuted for attempted murder and subsequent assault he committed against Kyle Larson today. Will Wallace face any legal consequences, or will his democratic privilege prevail? That is a very, very interesting question. Look, I don't know if NASCAR will suspend him. They absolutely should. But I think there's a very, very good shot that nothing happens. That his sponsors don't say anything. NASCAR might not do anything. And although, in my opinion, yeah, you could certainly look at criminal charges, do we really think they will go after Bubba Wallace? I just don't believe it. I do not believe it. I think the sports media backlash, the woke sports media backlash, would be too much for NASCAR to handle after everything that happened with Bubba Wallace a couple of years ago. Man, what he did was a scumbag move and a dangerous move on the racetrack. and then to get out of your car and attack a guy. Kyle Larson is a much smaller guy than Bubba Wallace. So Bubba Wallace just flat tried to bully Kyle Larson all the way around, in the car and out of the car. I mean, at least NASCAR should suspend him for the rest of the season. They won't do it. I just don't buy it. If NASCAR does, it will shock me. By the way, NASCAR president's woke as hell. Just thought I'd bring that up. Just go back, watch some of our videos and some of the things that NASCAR has gotten behind. Nah, Bubba's got him some privilege going on right now. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Should Bubba Wallace be criminally prosecuted? What he did was dangerous. He turned a NASCAR into a weapon. It's a bad look for the sport. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.